Bro, my battery is always doing that. Anyways, YouTube. It's your boy Trey Little, rapper, artist, entrepreneur, and I am here to basically talk about the process of becoming an artist, someone that has a million followers on TikTok, and how I did it. Ignore this battery sign and these things. I'm still trying to get good with this live streaming and stuff like that. Hopefully my camera don't turn off. But yeah, if you really want to support the channel, if you want good tips on how to make it as an artist, how to grow your fan base and get tips on that, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video for the algorithm, and we gonna get straight into it. Carl, what's good, fam? Can you hear me? Yeah, but we gonna talk about the baby, and my issue with just rap in general. This is so funny, like this thing. But like I said, ignore that. But my issue with rappers is the just unprofessionalism of like sometimes just not knowing, bro. Like some stuff that you just shouldn't say or shouldn't do. You know what I mean? Or just a certain attitude that a lot of rappers have. That's really what it is. It's mostly the attitude. I'm trying to make sure I stay in focus. Let me see. Hold on. Did I turn my autofocus off? All right. So yeah, with a lot of these rappers, it really just be like, I don't know. Like I had a situation with Sada Baby, and I was trying to talk to him about TikTok and you know, uh, just going viral and all this kind of stuff. And he was just like, "No, nah, that's corny. I'm not with all that. I'm a street guy. Blah blah blah." Right. In reality, is like the neighborhood we were having this conversation on. Um, I live in, and he was visiting. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make sure I'm staying focused. So like a lot of time rappers, yes, I get it, it's a culture and a platform where it's known for being able to unapologetically share their perspective and experiences, but it's like, okay, you can't be really ignorant and just think you can do whatever, say whatever, right? There has to be some sort of filter and some sort of degree. You think NWA, they made the Forget the Police song, and that was like something fighting against race, right? But it was still like really countercultural. So a lot of rappers think that they can just be like, I'm gonna say whatever I want to say without no consequences. Now, I'm not saying that you can't or can do something, but don't be surprised when you're faced with certain consequences for doing certain things. And I know specifically in like hood culture, you know, a lot of people grew up making certain kind of jokes and certain kind of things, and then it's like, yeah, I can say whatever I want to say, nobody gonna do nothing. And then when you get surprised, like, yes, society is fighting for those who are marginalized and oppressed. They are fighting for gay rights, they are fighting for trans rights, they are fighting for all these different things. And when you act like you're not aware of that and you start going and saying certain things that are using your platform to say something negative about a people that are fighting to be treated fairly, right? When you don't understand that or have that awareness, I'm just like, how do you not have that awareness, right? It's like the same when I hear people, make jokes about like Asian people, right? It's like, bro, you a minority too. Like you don't understand how that's just backwards. Like, how are you talking crazy about somebody that's disenfranchised when you are somebody who's a minority as well? And that's kind of where I just get kind of irritated, where I'm like, bro, have some sort of cultural awareness and some awareness of what's going on in society, right? I'm sure the baby had a lot of fans who were like, gay, and um, you know what I mean. I'm not saying I don't think it. I'm not saying I think what should happen is, because I mean, the whole canceling thing is kind of extreme. Um, but I feel like he should at least, you know, like he apologized, but I'm not sure what kind of apology, it was like, or if it was a real apology or if his publicist did that. But, I don't think everything should just be over with for him. I think that's a bit much, but I know some people disagree with me on that. But the biggest thing is that I think he should learn from this. You know what I mean? Like I just think, man, it's just like you got to be aware. Certain things you just got to understand. And I think a lot of people, when they come from the streets, it's just like, man, I can make jokes about whoever. I can make jokes about Asians. I can make jokes about you know what I mean? It's like, bro, like you got to understand that. Um, yeah. And then he also said, like, the baby also said, these are different things that I'm not aware of. I get where he's coming from. It's like, bro, you are a superstar. Like you have to be aware. And the only reason I'm talking about this in the way that I'm talking about it is because I just know people who make certain jokes. And it's like, dang, bro, like you really, it's like if I had a friend and their grandparents were making like black jokes, black people will steal your stuff. You can't trust black people, those black, right? It's like, bro, like even if you grew up saying that stuff around the dinner table, like you gotta still know that's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like some people in 2021, you don't have to cower away and not speak your mind and all that, but at least don't be surprised. You know what I mean? When things happen, like, um, I just think within this time right now, it's just not smart to say stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or just come out. Like, I'm not saying you can't speak your mind and have your opinion, views and all that, or you have to agree with everything. I don't think it's fair that people should have to accept and agree with everything. My bad. My camera, as y'all can see, my camera is struggling, with the focus and all that. But yeah, I feel like people should be allowed to have freedom of speech, but at the same time, like you got to know the consequences that's gonna come with saying certain things. You know what I mean? Um, and I don't talk about it as much. And the only reason I'm as aware to this, maybe it's just me, like I don't know, right? But both of my grandparents are, my granddad is transgender, and then my grandma also dresses like a guy, right? She is more masculine. So it's a long story behind that I might have to go do a full story time about on here on YouTube if I can keep my camera in focus. Um, yeah, it's a whole story within itself, and a lot of people ask me like, how does that happen, right? But if people want to know about that, I can come on and talk about it. But I've been around these issues since I was a kid, so I've had a lot of experience on how to deal with it, and it doesn't surprise me, it doesn't shock me. I don't scare away from these topics or these issues like a lot of people do. I think because I've had a lot of just background with everything that my grandparents had to fight and go through. I think that's what makes me a lot more sensitive to the issue. You know what I mean? So yeah. But like I said, I'm not really here to give my opinion on like just all the details and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, oh, good looking on the donation, bro. All I'm saying is like, man, I just don't like when people in general, especially people with platforms, come off so aggressive and just say certain things and not be in touch with what's going on in society. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, it's like ask questions. You know what I mean before you say something. I gotta figure out what's up with this focus. Shout out to Carl. He's one of my Patreon members. If you are on my Patreon, you get direct contact with me to ask me questions about music, get advice about your life, and I review your stuff. Um, yeah, the Patreon link will be in the description below. I'm also gonna start doing a lot more exclusive content for the Patreon. But the takeaway from this video that I want people to know is that like um if you want to reach the culture and have a lot of followers, just know what the culture needs. You know what I mean? The baby would have been better off just apologizing, like not on some soft stuff. Just, dang, that was real insensitive. I shouldn't have said that. That was kind of ignorant of me to just come out and give false details. And that's part of it too. Some of the details he was giving out about, AIDS, HIV, it was non-factual. You know what I mean? And having influence, I've had to learn that. And I'm just shocked that I only have 1 million followers compared to what he has. And how am I more careful with what I do and what I say than somebody who has a whole team, a whole label, publicist, and all that. Like you won't ever catch me saying some crazy just junk like that. Even if I'm in a room with people joking, making certain jokes. Dang, my bad. Even if I'm in a room with people making certain jokes, like, dang, my junk is through, y'all. I gotta fix my camera. But all that says, if I'm in a room with certain people making certain jokes, you'll hear me say something. If people don't post that I'm gonna just keep going and through this. I'm gonna cut this, but if people are still saying stuff, right? If somebody cut a video of somebody making a joke and they don't see me say nothing, best believe like I probably did say something. All that to say is like, I'm more mature and aware in that situation. You know what I mean? So all that to say is like, man, if you want to reach the culture and have a big following, you got to be prepared to navigate these kind of things and also know what society and the culture needs. He would have been better off, um, like I said, apologizing and being real. Like, yo, I messed up. You know what I mean? So, and I think even people from the community, of the gay community probably would have appreciated that a lot more. Like, okay, well, thanks for owning up to it, and giving out false details and saying stuff like that. That's the best thing you can do, right? If somebody make a joke that's racially insensitive, instead of trying to cover it up, man, being like, yo, that was ignorant, that's messed up, right? Somebody could appreciate that a lot more. Like when what's his name, Liam Neeson, was saying when something happened to his friend who was white, and then it was done by a black person. He said he went through the hood looking for a black person to attack, right? And then he tried to cover it up and blah blah blah. Bro, just apologize, bro. We like your movies. We like what you're doing. We like taking all that kind of stuff. Just apologize, bro. Don't cover it up. Anyways, my camera is giving up on me, so I'm gonna try to come back. Let me know what you think of this video. What I should talk about next. I'm gonna be doing more Q&As, Carl. We got to get on one of Q&A live on YouTube, especially we can do the Patreon edition. I'm gonna do one specifically for y'all. I'm out. Sorry about this whole screen thing, but like this video and I'll talk to y'all soon.